Greetings, citizens of Podcast City. I ask you to look upon me and heed my warning. As of this moment, you are all now fully aware that the following program is rated mature and is intended solely for those of the legal age to smoke, vote, and purchase pornography. If you find yourself at all easily disturbed by the harsh realities of obscene language, then perhaps you should turn back now before your mind becomes permanently stained with the wicked ways of professional wrestling. Every conceivable form of listener and viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Be if you can. Survive if I let you.
Let's get nuts.
Pull the fucking trigger! My kids, I'm hateful, I'm the tattoo clown. I'm screaming nothing really matters, motherfucker, burn it down. Listen, I'm down.
Welcome to Thunderdome, bitch.
Head Stricker Samu, Gangrel, and WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi. Do I have your attention yet? Good! Revolution Wrestling Federation Treasure Trove Toys, along with Sugar Daddy Productions, presents Resurgence, a showcase of the absolute best talents at Harrisburg Midtown Arts Center, featuring appearances from Gangrel, the Head Shrinkers, live August 29th at 6 p.m., featuring the double main event as RWF champion, the Japanese sensation Mr. Ping, defends his RWF championship against Michael Zamedo, as well as the Lights Out Battle of the Kings, as the King of Hardcore, Rob Notches, goes one-on-one with the King of Salvation, Mal Havoc, in a special New Jack City street fight. Also on the bill will be Marvelous Malcolm King, as he'll defend his RWF Internet Championship, the world's most dangerous arachnid, the Red Scorpion, 7 foot tall, 400 pounds, bulletproof Dorian Black, Andy Header, and many, many more. Sunday, August 29th, Resurgence, 6 p.m. Harrisburg Midtown Arts Center in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. The revolution is now.
Well, we are back. I know y'all missed me last week.
We sure did, pal.
What's going on? You guys held it down real good last week with the Real Horror Show.
Well, thank you very much, buddy. And yes, big props to my cohort in all things horror, Miss Nighthawk. We pulled that out of her ass, didn't we?
Yeah, I think it went really well, though.
Yeah, no, I think we got a good response. So, no, honestly, we thank again everybody who checked us out. We just kind of threw it out there, see what would stick. So, thank you to everyone who was kind enough to check us out.
You know, I checked it out where I could, and when I first saw it, you had said it there, Mr. Torrance. Not really sure why you painted up like Captain Spaulding in your 400-degree basement, but hey, it fit the part. It was great.
Yes, minus my leaky eyebrow there. And I think it turned out okay. I don't know. I didn't get any backlash from it on the old interweb, so there's that.
They didn't shut you down last week, did they?
But hey, that just shows you what a performer I really am. And yes, we did not get shut down. Vince was probably sitting there like, damn it, how can I get them? Why won't they talk about wrestling? But we got you this week, Vince. Let's see if we can get you 2 weeks in a row. Right?
So that Real Horror Show will be coming back. We just don't know when a scheduled time, day, or channel will be. Well, the channel will be Hell Entertainment, of course, and maybe ambient photography. You never know. Yeah. But that show will be coming back eventually because we got some great feedback, and that was just a fun show to listen to. So thank you guys for holding it down last Tuesday in my absence. You guys really kicked ass. So kudos.
Thanks, buddy.
Go clap, go clap.
Thank you very much.
At the top there, you saw us run a promotion for Revolution Wrestling Federation. They are a new partner of ours that we are working with. They have an event coming up on August 29th out in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, with Rikishi and the Head Shrinkers. There's the flyer there. Lots of good matches. We're actually going to have one of their talent on our show coming up. We're going to have Mal Havoc, who's involved in that New Jack City street fight coming up. Either next week or the week before the week before. Week after.
Look at us moving up in the world.
You know it. So we'll have Mal Havoc on here answering questions, talking about the good old wrestling and what's going on there.
So we're actually going to have a real professional wrestler on our show, not just us who used to wrestle in the backyard in high school.
Exactly.
Not too shabby, buddy.
And if you'd like to go check them out, go to revolutionwrestlingfederation.com. You can get your tickets there, check out the matches and all the events that they do. And because they're such killer partners of ours, you can use Off the Rope 10 off or 10% off your tickets over on their website. So go check it out. We will plug that again later on in the show because we got a lot of shit to get through because a week off, and now this week, a lot of shit has happened in the wrestling world.
Yeah.
I'm sure Mr. Torrance will concur with that, as well as Miss Nighthawk.
Oh, most indeed. It actually, there was moments there last week. I had to bite my tongue when we were doing the Real Horror Show, just because I wanted to keep it true to its form and keep it all horror and keep it real. But man, it was tempting. I got to tell you, because a lot of big news in the world of old professional wrestling.
And I like to throw this up there because, well, suck my balls, Mr. McMahon. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. Well, we know as we know, and many of our fine followers out there know as well, you did issue the challenge to one Vincent Kennedy McMahon a couple weeks ago, did you not?
I did, and he has yet to respond to my open challenge. So let's go, Vinnie Mac. Into
look at you getting the pythons ready over there, okay?
To the couple of people that I owe T-shirts from our last Off the Rope match 14, those will be going out this week. I apologize. I was in the woods with no reception, so I could not get your shirts ordered. They will be ordered this week. Listen.
Right?
Sorry.
I don't have your shit either.
I know.
Wait, so how was your retreat up to Camp Crystal Lake there?
It was great. It was good to get away, good to see the Voorhees and all that, and ground some kids in the boat.
I hope you told Mrs. in her sweater and decapitated head, Miss Voorhees, that I said hello.
I did. But in all honesty, it was good to get away for a little bit and take a break from civilization and get the fuck out of Dodge. So
I hear that, buddy.
That is that. Like I said, we got a lot of shit to get through, and then our topic of the night, end of the show, we are doing fantasy pay-per-view. What your fantasy matches are. And I think Miss Nightlock has a different spin on it when we get there.
It's very different.
I can't wait to see it because we like the differences.
You guys actually don't even know.
Ooh, wow. Well, there's a lot I don't know, so that could cover a lot, but I'll take your word for it. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, as yes, we are going to be throwing out our ideal dream pay-per-views, all, three of us. What we think the best 8 matches at one particular pay-per-view would be if you were like the god of wrestling and could just pick whatever the hell you want. So feel free to chime in as we get to that point at the main event of the show, if you will. And
that was a tough one. That was a tough one. I mean, there's so many. There's so much shit you can do. I mean, again, this is our opinions on what our fantasy pay-per-views are. This isn't. I mean, it's going to cause some controversy, which we like, but as Jack Torrance said, feel free to chime in. Let us know what you think, what your dream matches are, who you want to see fight, whether they're dead or alive. Let us know. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Let us know offtheropetuesdays@gmail.com. We'll get those out there.
I was sorry. I threw a out there because I just want to make sure we're taking care of our audio-only listeners so they actually know where to go to chime in as well if they like.
That's fair.
Because I never think of these things. You guys are the fancy pants technological whizzes, so I had my moment there.
Nope. For you audio listeners, you can check us out on Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, Pandora, and any other streaming service that you can get your hands on. We're available on 17 streaming platforms. So get your ears on, piss off your bosses, listen to us because we swear a lot.
Wow, 17. That's almost as many countries as WWE visits every year when they're on tour. So
I'm trying to take over Vince because, as you've seen in recent news, and I pointed this out to you in a text, that I think Vince is trying to dump WWE in the next 5 years.
Yeah, that has a big chunk to do with the news in the world of wrestling these last couple of weeks, does it not?
Oh, it does. And, big releases, big news, shitty Raws, shitty SmackDowns, great AEWs.
Pretty much. I don't know. Should we just get the shit out of the way first then?
You want to do the quick shitstorms?
If we give them the best stuff now, who's gonna stick around? We're not gonna sell anybody with. And coming up at the end of the show, folks, find out what happened on SmackDown. Yeah, that's not gonna.
Which was 4 days ago, so you already know.
And good news, everybody. They're thinking of throwing in another hour, are they not?
Oh God, please no. We'll get to that later. That's part of the news.
Yes. We'll save all the best for that time, so we can really disappoint you guys later.
No, I say we get cracking. We roll through AEW, SmackDown, Raw, the birthdays, all the shit that we got, and unless Miss Nighthawk has anything to add before we kick it off,
No.
no, she's just there, and she's the pretty face, and we're
If you want me to do the birthdays now, I can do that.
Let's do that. Let's rock the birthdays. Let's change it up a little bit. Let's rock the birthdays first.
Oh yeah.
In the meantime,
okay.
everyone can look at Orange Cassidy. Isn't he beautiful? Look at him.
Not as cool as my shirt.
That is pretty cool. I'll give you that.
Walmart special, bitch.
Where's the cat
we
suit?
will.
Catsuits for Christmas.
Fine.
Oh, wait till the Christmas show. That's going to be a treat.
Christmas
What?
photos.
Whoa. What was last? The 27th, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So there's one from last week and one for this week too.
Let's do them up.
All right. So last week.
Oh, the game.
Oh.
Oh. You okay
Yeah.
there, Jack?
Old Hunter Hearst got birthed on this day. How old is this old hog pen match, anyways? I'm honestly curious. I don't know how old he is.
Give me a second.
Now you're asking her to do math.
For all of
52.
you.
Holy shit.
Okay. 52.
It's my birthday. I'm old. I'm 52.
I almost fought CM Punk at WrestleMania 30, and Daniel Bryan was gonna fight Sheamus, and the card would have totally sucked.
And I banged the boss's daughter, and now I'm a CEO.
I always gotta give old Hunter Hearst himself a lot of props though, because he was real tight with Lemmy from Motorhead, and as we all know, Lemmy is God, so that's pretty damn cool.
To each their own.
And you know what? I give him a lot of credit too. He's responsible for any success that NXT's ever had, because it certainly wasn't really backed by Vince. We all know that. So look at us. Happy birthday to playing the game.
Yeah, and this week.
Damien
Sandow.
Where's his scarf? Maybe he needs a new scarf for his birthday. Remember, it was a few shows back. I was trying to remember his name for something we were talking about.
That's right.
And I want to
like
say
Elias.
Pops Ghostly may have finally told me what the hell his name was.
Where is Pops tonight? Pops is not popping in.
Pops might be popping. We'll see. We're also looking for our usuals, Guy Manley and Josh and all you crazy cats that are kind of
Our four regulars.
Right? Mm-hmm. Our four horsemen, if you will. All right,
Like
so who else was birthed this week? Is that it?
I think that was it.
Okay.
I mean, there might have been more, but that was all I saw.
Okay.
All right.
Chances are. Perhaps future generations of WWE superstars were born this week. We'll find out in 20 years.
Maybe 18 years.
Superstars. Can't call them wrestlers.
Oh, do you have any history you want to jump into?
Me?
Yeah, anybody. I got history here if you want to jump into a little bit of history real quick.
I think it would be a fine fitting thing if you would educate myself, Miss Nighthawk, and the people in the old weekly history update, whatever we call it. Do we even have a name for this segment?
No, we don't have a name for this segment. It's just called history.
All right. Histories, mysteries of wrestling.
I don't have shit.
I feel like I should come in with like a professor suit and like a pipe.
I got to be honest with you. I totally fumbled on this part as
That's
well.
all right.
I did not look up any history.
21 years ago today, ECW presented The Doctor Is In from the ECW Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It was named for the debuting of Dr. Death, Steve Williams.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Mikey Whipwreck defeated Devin Storm to retain a European Junior Heavyweight Championship. Devon Dudley and Axel Rotten fought to a no contest. Raven defeated Sandman to retain the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. And Stevie Richards was defending the ECW title on Raven's behalf, with Raven out due to a foot injury.
Wow, you, buddy. That's quite the old ECW show there.
Yeah, there's a little bit more there, but nothing that's too relevant. We have 20 years ago, SummerSlam, Heart and Soul, from East Rutherford, New Jersey. The final appearance for Todd Pettingill. And the debut of his replacement, Michael Cole.
Skunk Boy.
Yeah. Mankind defeated Triple H in a steel cage match. Goldust. Go ahead.
I was sorry to cut you off, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was at least the last old school blue steel cage match, at least for a long time. I don't know if they brought it back since, but remember that?
Yeah, I think the next cage match that had that structure was St. Valentine's Day Massacre, but it was black.
Yes, you're right. And then from there, after Hell in a Cell, then they went to that other, the cage that you see today. So I may be wrong, but I think that may have been the last old school blue steel cage match. And what a great match it was. When Foley rips off his shirt at the end, when he's all the way up trying to do his best Snuka impression. And he was supposed to have the dude Love Heart painted on his chest, but he sweated it off. So he rips his shirt open and it's just like this red goo that's all over his shirt. So he's like, whatever. And he just leaps off, does typical Foley action and drop one of the most iconic elbow smashes in wrestling history.
Hey, what's that guy doing? Hey, guy.
What's going on, guy?
Hey, guy. So Goldust defeated the late, great Brian Pillman. And as a result of that match, Brian Pillman had to wear a dress that next night on Monday Night Raw. I don't know if you remember that one.
You know what? I know a lot of people were in dresses back then, so I don't doubt that at all.
Legion of Doom, Hawk and Animal defeated the Godwins.
Henry Owen Pig. Phineas.
Stone Cold defeated the late Owen Hart to win the WWF Intercontinental Championship.
Wow. That's pretty
This was the match that Austin had broke his neck.
Yes, of course. We all know that was at
the pile driver.
With the unfortunate, I don't know why Owen ever decided that was a good idea. Sit down, tombstone, pile driver. But as we know, the rest is history. It still makes you always wonder, though, how much longer Stone Cold could have gone had he not had that so early on in his WWE career.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had
Stewie's Time Machine.
Go back and take a look. Bret Hart defeated The Undertaker to win the WWF Championship. Shawn Michaels was the special referee. Per match stipulation, had Hart lost the title, he would be banned from wrestling anywhere in the United States. In addition, if Shawn Michaels' officiating was deemed to be biased, he too would be banned from wrestling in the United States.
I'm sorry, I screwed up. I thought you said that Owen and Stone Cold match was on Raw. I thought you said they did that like later on. But you meant the SummerSlam match, right?
SummerSlam, yeah.
Okay, I screwed that up. Yeah. But yes, what a great pay-per-view that was. The Undertaker-Bret match, phenomenal as well. Of course, we all know the thing everyone will remember the most for that particular SummerSlam is even what Stone Cold calls the worst roll-up in professional wrestling history, when he just tugged Owen over and Owen's like,
Let's see, and a couple more quick ones. 7 years ago, TNA suspended Samoa Joe indefinitely. Do not know. Oh, it was for following the match with Jeff Hardy. Joe went backstage into the production truck, seen as a no-no in wrestling etiquette, and yelled at the production team for essentially giving away the finish of the match.
Wow, so he actually got suspended? This just wasn't a storyline?
No, he actually got suspended.
Oh, wow, okay.
And then I do have another birthday here. It's a happy 51st birthday to Eric Scott Esch. But he's best remembered by his nickname. Do you know it, Mr. Torrance?
Oh, pray tell.
WrestleMania 15, he fought Bart Gunn. Butterbean.
Everyone's favorite turkey.
That's a butterball turkey.
Yeah, it's all the same, really. I always thought when I think Butterbean, I think Butterball. Because
34 seconds he beat Bart Gunn.
Well, his whole career, he was a big tub of goo. He really wasn't the best boxer in the world. Let's face it, facts. But he had a decent career, and then perhaps, I can't say the dumbest thing, but one of the all-time dumbest things ever done in the history of pro wrestling, that being the Brawl for All.
Mm-hmm.
How many careers did that ruin? And then you put Bart Gunn in the ring against a professional boxer because, well, he wasn't supposed to win the Brawl for All, even though we didn't script him. So I was like, what? Yeah. Anyway. For more info on that, go check out Dark Side of the Ring, folks. If you haven't seen the Brawl for All episode yet, I highly recommend it.
That's going to do it for history.
All right.
Your history lessons are over. There is no test this week. But if you need extra help, you can see this guy after class for your extra help.
Yeah, that's it. I'm already penciling in Abacadabra for the next test. Yeah, and I'm glad. You know what? This week, I'm glad you put up for all our audio listeners as well to let you know what just happened there. Yeah, I got Enzo'd again. This is a weekly occurrence where every couple times throughout the show.
Until Enzo responds to your challenge, he's going to be brought up every week, just like McMahon.
Well, hey, if it's only fair, then you need to start getting Vinced then.
I talked about Vince earlier, but we'll
but I was actually saving Enzo for later on in the show. But if I got to get Enzo'd all the time, you should get Vince then.
I'll get Vince. Don't you worry about that.
All right. So audio listeners, be warned. Yeah, every once in a while, we might get upset because I have to suffer through a picture of Enzo Amore. And, well, evidently the podcast kid is now going to have to look at Vince. So, Miss Nighthawk, with all your technical skills, if you wouldn't mind finding a great picture of Vince McMahon for us whenever you have the time. It doesn't have to be tonight. We'll get there next week.
Would you like the one of him getting his head shaved?
I was thinking
the one up Rikishi's ass.
I was going to say, since it's for you, I have to suffer through Enzo. I was going to say you should get a picture of someone having to kiss his ass. So you have to look at Vince's ass every time.
All right, fair enough. All right.
We just put Nighthawk on a really weird mission.
While she's doing on her mission, let's hop into the AEW Dynamite deposition. I have not changed his graphic yet, but I will. I have a pretty cool thing coming up for the next week's show to do that.
Ooh, surprises.
Surprise.
Howdy heck, youngin'. Wrestle up them there chitlins. We's gonna get us a new fancy graphic.
Woohoo! Maybe even a video.
So without any further ado, it's time, yes, for the AEW Dynamite deposition for July the 28th, 2021. This was Fight for the Fallen week, as it took place this past Wednesday night, and things kicked off in a big way with a 10-man tag team elimination match that pitted the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega, along with members of the Elite, up against Hangman Adam Page and the Dark Order. Now, if you'll recall, this match had some high stakes attached to it, because if the Dark Order won, then Page would get a world title shot against Omega, and two members of the Dark Order would earn an opportunity against the Young Bucks for their AEW World Tag Team Championships. However, because there's always a however, if the Elite won, then there wouldn't be any title chances for Page and the Dark Order. This was no big surprise, easily a main event worthy match, as the Dark Order came out hot until Carl Anderson scored the first elimination by grabbing a handful of tights and pinning Alex Reynolds. Evil Uno struck back when he eliminated Machine Gun, and then a member of each team were both counted out when Doc Gallows and Stu Don't Call Me Dick Grayson started brawling in the crowd. Things were all evened up again when Kenny Omega hit a one-winged angel on Evil Uno, making it 3-on-2. Well, I'm sorry, I worded that all wrong. Things were evened up again until I forgot an until in there. Yeah, that's when your AEW World Heavyweight Champion came in and delivered the one-winged angel on poor Evil Uno, making it 3-on-1. John Silver put up 3-on-2. Yeah, Numbers, confusion. Sorry. All right, so here we go. Kenny Omega eliminated Evil Uno. Now it's 3-on-2. That's what I should have just said. John Silver put up a hell of a fight against the Young Bucks, but he finally got taken out after being hit with the BTE trigger. So that left the Hangman all by his lonesome against the Bucks of Youth and Kenny Omega. Page took a beating and kept on coming, even eliminating Matt Jackson before Nick Jackson made the distraction on the referee, which allowed Kenny Omega to hit Page right in the old noggin with the TNA World title. It was actually kind of funny because he tried to hit him with the AEW title, and Page actually got it away from him. So then he had to like run around and he's like, I need a new belt. So he went got one of his other 4 belts because yes, he's Kenny 4 belts. And after he gave his noodle a noggin, he followed it up with 2 V-triggers and a one-winged angel on poor Hangman to deliver the 1, 2, 3. So I got to say, this one actually came as a surprise to me since the fans have been clamoring for months now, excuse me, to see, Kenny and Hangman finally have the showdown that we all want. So it kind of went into it thinking, all right, they're going to win. They get their title shots and whatnot. And, maybe Dark Order won't win the tag team titles, but this means, Hangman's got to get his title shot. But in the end, no, because Hangman did go down. So going to be very interesting to see how they play out this feud. I actually kind of like this the more I thought about it, because this means they're going to be able to spread this feud out a bit more, which they really should if they know what's a good for them. Up next, Andrade El Idolo. I don't know. I never know if I'm pronouncing that right. But he, along with Chavo Guerrero, made hints that the Lucha Brothers have joined up with them, thus turning their back on PAC. So that could be dangerous news there for, what do they call themselves again? Death Triangle. Yes. Look at that. I actually remembered. Holy crap. Let's see there. Then we had a celebration for the new FTW champion when Ricky Ugly Martin with the tight pants starts hit the ring. Taz talked some shit about Brian Cage, so no big surprise. It is very safe to say that Cage has officially made the face turn, because good old Shoulders McGee himself then ran out and showed some Rage Cage on the marching band that had played during Ricky's entrance. He actually beat up the dude with the big giant drum. So that was fun. I'm also very happy to announce that this segment was followed up with one of my favorite wrestlers from New Japan Pro Wrestling, Mr. Hiroshi Tanahashi, informing the world that he will be challenging for the NJPD. I'm just going to say New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's easier to say for some reason than NJPW. I don't know why I can't do that.
NJPW. I can't, yeah.
I'm not the only one.
It's a tongue twister. A twister.
That's my evil twin brother, Thaddeus. So anyways, yes. Hiroshi Tanahashi is going to be challenging for the NJPW United States title tomorrow night on Dynamite. And for all of you out there who aren't that familiar with New Japan, you guys are in for a treat. You really should check out Dynamite tomorrow night, because Hiroshi Tanahashi is awesome. That's all I'll tell you. Look him up on the old YouTube, whatever you got to do. After the show, of course. Wait for us to do our thing.
Obviously.
Right. Well, short-term memory spans, or attention spans, I should say, this day and age. You got to make sure you remind them. So, anywho, the war between the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle, or Pinnacle, I don't know if it's the Pinnacle or just Pinnacle. Either way, continued with FTR when they upended Santana and Ortiz in tag team action. And during the match, dude, Dax Harwood, for anybody out there who watched Dynamite this week, you will know, he smoked his forearm for real on the one of the steel posts. And all of a sudden, he was out of the match. A match that FTR did win, by the way, by cheating and grabbing a handful of tights. But anyways, dude, he split his arm open so bad, it was just gushing blood. So I don't know exactly
blood.
Oh, lots of blood. I do not know what the extent of Dax's injury is, but it looked pretty gnarly. So Perhaps we will find out more of what the future holds for FCR Mañana night. Lance Archer got his first win as the new NJPW, I did it, U.S. champion when he defeated Hikuleo. Hikuleo. All right, this one you can't blame me for not knowing how to pronounce because it's spelled Hikuleo. Hikuleo.
Higulio.
Hikuleo. Yeah, you said it. Okay, we'll go with what you said. So
Sounds like a big hiccup.
yeah, pretty much. So yes, he comes to us from the Bullet Club. And Lance Archer, as I said, got the win over him. Then we saw the feud between Malachi Black and Cody pick up some steam as they got into another slugfest that had to be broken up by the officials. This is definitely a match I'm looking forward to seeing. Now that this pretty much is solidified, we're all done with that god-awful QT Marshall feud with him and Cody. So thank you, Malachi Black, formerly Aleister Black, for getting fired from WWE because you just made my life a lot better. And then there was a trios match. I don't know why it was called that, but it was a trios match. As Christian Cage, along with Jurassic Express. Oh, I get it because it's 3-on-3.
That's it. It's a 3-on-3. I thought it was like a three-way dance.
Right? Yeah, or some sort of special like Lucha Libre stipulation. No. It was just a 3-on-3 six-man tag match, if you will. As Christian Cage, along with Jurassic Express, picked up a victory over the Matt Hardy family office. And then things rolled on with Thunder Rosa getting the win against Julia Hart. Thunder Rosa is now the number one contender for Dr. Britt Baker DMD's women's world title. So I would really like to see a match between the two of them for the belt because, as we all know, they had that incredible hardcore match months ago, which Thunder Rosa did defeat Dr. Britt, even though it was non-sanctioned, so the win didn't count. But yeah, either way, they put on a good show. Now in the main event for last week's Dynamite, yeah, it really was something that, honestly, I've never seen on network television in the almost now 40 years that I've been watching pro wrestling, as Chris the Painmaker Jericho took on the most violent wrestler I've ever seen since New Jack's heyday. No doubt about it. This is a man that not only once robbed a bank for real, not just a wrestling storyline, and he did so without wearing a mask. Yeah, that's a lesson for you kids out there. Don't do the meth, because this is what happens. You start trying to rob banks and you forget your mask, and then
gotta wear a mask because of COVID.
Right? So not only did this certain individual pull that one off and serve some time for it, but he was also once pronounced dead for 8 solid minutes after a match that he then woke up and wanted to continue. Talking about none other than the infamous Nick Gage, who I honestly really never thought in a million years I'd ever see wrestle on television. No doubt about it. So that one that kind of floored me. And this was a no rules match. And from what I understand, I've done my little research here on the old interface and webs and forth. And I guess this match was pretty much down the middle for a lot of fans. It was either they loved it or hated it. I personally loved it just because it was something that I never thought would be on national television. It was a bit heavy with the light bulbs for my taste, but I never really been a big fan of guys smashing each other with light bulbs. I just think it's unnecessarily painful, you know?
Yeah, it's
But I mean, can you imagine how long it must take to get those tiny, tiny little shards from those lightsaber-looking fucking lights out of your back and whatnot? Like, ugh.
all the fluorescent lights.
Yeah. I mean, this is basically what Nick Gage has based his whole career on. Nick Gage, I don't know if he actually knows any wrestling moves, but nonetheless, he did do what I think is his finisher, and he took the old pizza slicer across Jericho's mouth. That was pretty gnarly.
And let's talk about when they cut. Let's talk about. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh no, please go for it.
When he took the pizza cutter and then they cut to a Domino's commercial right there.
Thank you, because I was actually just about to get to that. That was literally the most clever marketing ploy I've ever seen in my entire life. I've watched millions of hours of television now in my years, and there's no way that was just coincidental timing. For anyone who didn't see it, Nick Gage is known for taking a regular old circular piece of slicer, and he'll hold his opponent down and go like this and slash it across your lips, And so the second he did that, now mind you, they're already both covered in blood and shit. Jericho hits the deck and fucking they go right to a Domino's commercial that shows the Domino's dude using an actual pizza slicer to cut off the pizza. So I really thought it was the most clever advertising strategy I've ever personally seen in my life. So hats off to AEW and Domino's. Haven't been able to give you guys a lot of props in recent years, but hey, there you go. So thank you. Because what was your take on that one, buddy?
It was a little gruesome, not going to lie. It wasn't 100% my cup of tea, but I thought it was great, especially for network television. It was, to me, it was more like a Japan death match, like a death match over in Japan.
Yeah, it was. You know what? To me, even you're right. It was Japanese death match. It also was very much. If you look into Nick Gage and his career, like CCW, that John Moxley was in back in the day. That's what they do, really. Right. It's all light bulbs and barbed wire and going above and beyond with the hardcore shit. Which, to me, it's like, dude, I just find it unnecessary. Once you've seen it, you've seen it. Even though, despite that, I did like this match. I'm not gonna lie, but it's one of those, you see it once, you've seen it a million times, and like you said, it was just a mere fact that AEW is willing to really push the envelope here and say, all right, we're going to put something on TV that no other wrestling promotion has ever been willing to put on TV. Not to that extent. It was just blood, glass. I mean, there when Jericho superplex Gage through the actual pane of glass.
Yep. Well, speaking of this match, I'm going to take a shot here and see if AEW hates us as much as Vince McMahon does, because I have the clip pulled up.
Well, we've been fair warned.
Scary.
So for those of you weak at heart, and for those of you listening, this is a quick clip of the Nick Cage, Chris Jericho match.
Dude, oh yeah, when they were just stabbing each other with the pieces of glass.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. I really did dig the fact that Jericho brought back the
Here's the pizza cutter
for this match. Yeah, here we go. Oh, I'm sorry. He did it to his forehead. I thought he did it to his mouth like he did to John Moxley. There was the painted glass and shit. It wasn't a superplex. It was a Frankensteiner. Sorry, I watched this like a week ago, so I forgot.
And just more into the glass. Oh.
As soon as they hit that glass, before they even added all these light bulbs, you could see all the fucking glass in their arms. That's why I knew that painted glass was for real. Nick Gage doesn't screw around. Like he will not use fake props. This was just like, dude. Oh, digging it right into his forehead. And then there was the green mist. I was so glad Jericho brought back the green mist. Follows it up with the Judas Effect 1, 2, 3. Le Champion, a.k.a. the Painmaker, has survived the, what do they call it here again? 5 Labors of Jericho, which is, as we all know now, in order for Jericho to get his hands on MJF, he has to go through this whole cycle of 5 matches. So after the match, MJF didn't waste any time in telling us who Jericho will now have to face in round 3 when he informed the world that Juventud Guerrera, is apparently still wrestling. Jericho and Juventud had some great matches way back when in WCW back in, we're talking 98, 97, maybe? 98? Yeah, so who knew? Juventud's still around. Hopefully he's wearing his mask, because everyone remembers when Bischoff made all the poor luchadors take their masks off, and it was like, don't do that. Rey Mysterio looked like a weird baby. I don't know.
He still looks weird. But Nighthawk just put something in our chat there. It says, why is that a pizza cutter can cut open Jericho, yet can barely cut through the crust on a moist pizza? On most pizza. I said moist.
That is a very good point. had that same struggle myself with one of the Red Baron deep dishers myself. So hey, the struggle's real, man. I don't know. I guess in wrestling, pizza cutters just work better.
I guess so.
Although, I mean, has anyone out there actually tried to open up someone's flesh with a pizza cutter before? Anyone personally you know? Or?
No, but if anybody would like to volunteer, I'll
yes,
do it.
feel free to hit us up at Off the Ropes.
You'll do it to them, or they can do it to you.
I'll do it to them.
Yeah, she's doing it to them. Oh, yeah. And I'll film it.
I'll do photos.
We could do it right down here in the Jack Torrance dungeon. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
perfect.
Yeah.
So is that it for your AEW Dynamite deposition?
If I'm not mistaken, buddy, I believe we are done. Blah, 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 blah. Dynamite should be another good one tomorrow night. They're just cranking it right now. Not everything is perfect, as we know, but trust me, when we get to the SmackDown breakdown, you will know why I said Dynamite was definitely better than SmackDown.
Well, guess what? We're going to the SmackDown breakdown.
And then there's the SmackDown breakdown.
SmackDown breakdown, yay!
It's amazing how time flies. Yes,
we changed things up this week, so we're just rolling through the network shows.
That hamster roll, it keeps on a trucking. Yes, it's time indeed, folks. SmackDown breakdown of the week, July 30th, 2021. SmackDown fired things up this past Friday with a promo from Mr. You Can't See Me, whose recent challenge to Roman Reigns for a shot at his WWE Universal Championship was denied by the head of the table. Cena's time on the mic was cut short by Baron Corbin, who received an attitude adjustment, much to the delight of the crowd. And I got to give props to Pops. Mr. Pops Ghostly on this one. I hadn't watched SmackDown, and he texted me, and he was like, who would have guessed that Baron Corbin could actually cut a good promo? But he did. So, good for you, Baron. Now, where was I? The feud. Yes. The feud between the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos and the Mysterios, keeps gaining momentum as Rey pinned Jimmy Uso in singles action. Then there were two big surprise returns this week on SmackDown. This was, in all likelihood, I'm probably going to say the highlight of SmackDown.
Already the highlight, huh? And second match in.
Yeah. Well, this actually really isn't even a match either. You'd be surprised how lacking they were in the match department this week. So you'll see as time progresses. But yes, there were two big surprise returns this week on SmackDown as the SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair and the Boss Sasha Banks made their presence known when they came out and scared off Zelina Vega and Carmella. Then in a complete waste of TV time, I can't even say it. I'm so frustrated. It's that bad. The 24/7 championship was on the line when Reggie beat Chad Gable via disqualification. Chad Gable literally lost to this dude who, I don't know, this Milli Vanilli looking guy. I thought he was just there because he was like Nia Jax's boyfriend or something.
Well, then he got kicked out of Raw like 2 weeks ago and then won the belt, and it's stupid.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Since we weren't on last week, I did not watch SmackDown. So I'm going to be honest with you. So I guess I missed that one. But anyhow, that mouthful of shit was then followed up by a contract signing between WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns and Finn Balor, who, speaking of what I just said, thanks to me not watching SmackDown last week, I was not aware that Mr. Balor apparently challenged Senor Reigns for a title shot at SummerSlam. So this was all news to me. Now, as we all know, contract signings rarely ever go according to plan in the world of professional wrestling. And needless to say, this time was no different, as just when Balor went to put down the old Herbie Hancock, he was blindsided. Sorry, I had to get my...
What'd you call me?
I had to get I was watching Tommy Boy this weekend. I had to get the old Chris Farley reference in there.
Fair enough.
John Hancock, it's Herbie Hancock. So Finn went for his Herbie, and then he was instantly blindsided by Baron Corbin, who came from out of nowhere and attempted to sign the contract himself. But just as Corbin was once again trying to sign that little contract, making the world looking like it was all his. And I got to say, he got a pretty damn good pop from the crowd as well when it looked like he really was going to sign it. But finito, John Cena came in and for the second time that night took him out and proceeded to sign the contract, dotted line himself, thus evidently solidifying the Cena versus Big Dog championship match at SummerSlam.
That hopefully should be a good match. If they if Vince lets them do what they can do, that match should be quite the slobber knocker.
Yeah, no doubt. If it was to just be them one-on-one. Otherwise, my big gripe with this whole thing is, okay, why did you waste your time? Oh, there it is. The Vint Nutbuster. Now you got no chance there, podcaster.
No chance.
But, oh, yeah. I didn't understand this. If they're not going to eventually make this a 4-way match, then why did they have Finn Balor and Baron Corbin get involved? I just thought it was a dumb way to set up what it was inevitably what we thought it was going to be. So if they make that a fatal 4-way or something, then okay, I see you got some clever writing there. But if it's just Cena and Reigns, then it was like, well, that whole segment was for nothing.
Right.
You could have gotten that over with at the beginning of the show. You know? So there was that. And now the show. Remember how I mentioned before. Now, mind you, we've gotten through, hold up real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe, 5 segments of SmackDown. There's been one match so far. One match.
It's kind of like Raw.
Yeah. So
because they got to they got to start building for that extra hour of SmackDown.
Yeah, so now they said, oh, boy, we better actually make this a wrestling show again. And they finally got back to it by having a match with Mr. Money in the Bank, Big E Langston himself, along with Cesaro and Nakamura, when they took on the team of Dolph Ziggler, Bobby Roode, and Apollo Crews. Big E, Cesaro, and Nakamura were victorious. This was nothing to write home about. I didn't really care for it. All these guys are awesome, but boring match, waste of time. Luckily, things did, however, take an interesting turn afterwards when Edge came out and was instantly attacked in the aisle by Seth Rollins. So this is no doubt set up a match between the two of these guys at SummerSlam, which I personally will be very happy to see. If they actually sign these two cats on the dotted line, which I believe they're going to, then I would say that's going to be the highlight of SummerSlam. Edge versus Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
Going to be hard to top that one.
Absolutely.
So we will see where she goes. So that only leaves us with the Big Dukeroo, the main event of Friday Night SmackDown. And as previously stated, there was a little brouhaha earlier in the evening between Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair, Zelina Vega, and Carmella. So that turned into the main event as Belair and Banks scored the win, but over Zelina and Vega. Yeah, the tag team match wasn't much to write home about because it was all just a setup. When after the match, the victory celebration was very short-lived as Sasha hit Bianca from behind and eventually made her tap out to the bank statement. So sounds like it'll be the WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair putting her title on against Sasha Banks coming up later this month at SummerSlam. And actually, I take my previous statement back because that match between those two could.
I think that's gonna be a great card.
So those two matches right now, all right, that's getting my interest with SummerSlam. But that, my children of the corn, is your SmackDown breakdown. So break it down.
Cena, Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Oh, Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks. A couple of good title matches there for SummerSlam setup.
Yeah, and like I said, keep your eye on the main event because that easily, like I said, if it makes sense, Corbin and who the hell did I just say there? Finn Balor will also be in the main event. I don't know. Or maybe they'll just set that up as a sideline thing between them. But we'll see.
Well, no, I did see the SmackDown where Sasha Banks came back, and she got quite the pop when she came back. It was it was a lot. The pop was very deafening. Not obviously not as loud as the game when he came back from his corn quad. But
Madison Square
you know,
Garden is a little hard to live up to, you know.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Sasha since WrestleMania when she headlined night one. So be on the lookout for her. I think Sasha is going to put up a pretty good fight with Bianca at SummerSlam.
I think that's a really, once again, a match to keep your eye on. The two of them are extremely talented. Bianca, it was a shame that she got sidelined there for a little bit. Luckily for her, she's back. You know, just there's such a short time after winning the SmackDown Women's title because she is awesome. I mean, she makes you want to watch what they're doing. And between her and Sasha, I don't know if they've ever had a match before, maybe on Raw or NXT or something. I don't know the case, but I guarantee you this one will be a fun one indeed.
Don't fuck this up, WWE writers.
Right? We
Don't.
can only keep them crossed, but, you know, prepare for the worst.
This is true. So shall we hop into the Raw report?
Yeah, let's take that dog out back.
Oh, God. 3 hours of my Monday. Actually, 3 hours of my Tuesday because I never watch it on Monday. Because I want to fast forward through all the commercials.
Yeah, I haven't watched Raw on a Monday since probably 1999, maybe. I don't know.
Luckily
for the power of the DVR, dude.
So Raw opened up with Lashley and MVP coming out, running their mouths, talking about SummerSlam. Goldberg makes his entrance. Goldberg gets on the mic, starts talking.
Wait, hold on while I set up my noose.
Goldberg's kid is in the crowd in the front row there in the corner. And as Goldberg is talking...
All right, I'm sorry. I got to shut up. But
yeah, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Fuck Goldberg and his stupid kid.
As Goldberg is talking and telling MVP that he's scared and Lashley looks scared, the crowd at Raw is screaming, "We want Wyatt."
I'm so proud of them.
Because of what happened. We'll get into that later after the Raw report and part of our news segment. But that overtook Goldberg talking. They finished the segment. MVP decided to run his mouth to Goldberg's kid, resulting in Goldberg giving MVP a spear, knocking MVP out.
What an M. Night Shyamalama ding dong like.
I am so tired. I am so tired of the spear being people's ending moves. Like,
I'm so
originality.
tired of Goldberg even being in anything. Stop, dude. Why? It hurts.
All right. So we come back, and then we have Drew McIntyre versus Veer and Shanky, who are Jinder Mahal's modern-day Harash peoples. So he fought them in a handicap match, won via disqualification. McIntyre was set up for the Claymore when Mahal interfered, hitting McIntyre with a chair, resulting in a disqualification, giving Drew McIntyre the W.
Whoop-de-doo, Basil.
Then we saw Rhea Ripley facing off against Nia Jax again. Nia Jax badly busted open near her eye when she ran into Shayna Baszler on the ring apron.
We actually had a little
bit
of
some blood.
Red groovy there.
We did. She didn't blade. She actually really got cut.
Well, yeah, because that's the only way anyone bleeds on Raw anymore.
Yeah. So Rhea Ripley came out.
Way.
What's that?
Said it's the only way anyone bleeds.
Obviously. Rhea Ripley came out with the victory over Nia Jax via pinfall with a schoolboy pin.
The dreaded schoolboy.
Yes, she went old school, so I'll give her that. Mason T-Bar fought Mansoor and Mustafa Ali.
Mansoor. I forgot about Mansoor.
That's a horrible name.
Yeah, he's the heavyweight champion of herpes in wrestling.
To your point on SmackDown, this was a waste of airtime. Mason T-Bar won via pinfall. T-Bar hit Mason with a discuss big boot. Okay, I don't know what that means. I don't know.
Does it mean like discuss amongst yourselves? I'll give you a topic. The Cold War isn't over near the Cold War. Like, what does that mean?
I don't know. But then again,
garbage, dude. Ugh, just sickening.
And then the Raw ratings keep going down as Charlotte Flair comes out and cuts a promo. And we all know how Charlotte Flair is on the mic, blah, blah, blah. Rhea Ripley, she should be the #1 contender match, with Nikki ASA.
I'm Ric Flair's daughter.
We're going to get into that actually in our news that I found out a little something today. Nikki ASH, almost a superhero, the women's Raw champion, came down and blindsided Flair with a chair, and that they were fighting later on that night in the Raw main event, as I will call it, in a no holds bar match.
Ooh.
After that, we saw Tamina versus Doudrop. Tamina won via pinfall.
Woo! Mountain Dew, Berry Rush, or whatever.
Another stupid name.
Yeah, I know. Who is in charge of name creation there in WWE these days? I mean, as bad as Mantar was, it was a pretty clever name. Never saw Mantar.
Doudrop. Doudrop in.
Ugh. Yeah, sounds real menacing. Oh no, it's Doudrop. Here comes Mist. Fog.
Then we saw Priest versus John Morrison after appearing with Morrison on the Miz on Miz TV. After the match, Sheamus attacked Priest from behind before Ricochet ran in. Blah blah blah.
All right, so Miz is back. He's not a zombie after all.
He's still in a wheelchair. Him and Priest decided to play squirt guns with each other with those stupid squirt things.
He's fighting somebody in a wheelchair?
No, he's not really in a wheelchair. He's just stupid.
Yeah, that's how low Raw's got. They bring out handicapped people and spray them with water and beat them up.
So Priest defeated
those ratings.
Priest defeated Morrison via pinfall, and then in the next match it was Priest and Ricochet versus Morrison and Sheamus, and Priest and Ricochet defeated Morrison and Sheamus via pinfall. Okay, great. He fought twice. Why? I don't know. Omos and Riddle went at it. Obviously, Riddle's not going to defeat Omos because Omos is like 7 feet 9 inches.
I was going to say, how my boy Edward James almost do this week?
That sounds scary.
Right. He won after hitting a choke bomb.
Did he get all American?
He gets dizzy when he stands up too fast?
Right? Because he's so up there.
That's a lot of blood to run to the head.
Way up in the clouds. It's a lot of vertical girth.
Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross. Keith Lee defeated Karrion Kross with a pinfall via a spirit bomb. The win was Lee's first win since returning to Raw 2 weeks ago after a 6-month absence. Ooh.
Did they ever explain Keith Lee's absence? Was he
hurt,
I'm guessing?
I don't know.
Because he had quite a push going for him, and then they were just like, yeah, that looks like the fans are liking it too much, so.
So this is definitely a typo on CBS Sports. It says the 27-7 championship. It's actually the 24/7 championship.
Oh God, it was on Raw too. Why?
Reggie versus Akira Tozawa, whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Reggie won with a pinfall with a flipping senton to retain his championship. Blah-de-da-de-da-de. Then we had Nikki ASH, almost a superhero, who is the Raw Women's Champion, defeat Charlotte Flair in a no-holds-bar match via a pinfall. And there will be a triple threat at SummerSlam between Nikki ASH, Charlotte Flair, and Rhea Ripley. I think Miss Nighthawk fell asleep because she is so bored of this well.
No. I think she might have something juicy there. I don't know. That was quite a reaction, unless you really thought what he said was hilarious.
No, I was laughing at something else.
That's what I thought. Oh, I thought maybe we had some sort of interesting comment here.
And then
no good.
Sorry to disappoint.
Oh man!
At the very end of Raw, it was made official: Goldberg versus Lashley at SummerSlam. I could give two shits less.
Yeah, I guess that'll be the.
Yeah,
right. It's like Chunk and Goonies, like. No, dude, just why? I'm sorry, I can't take the Goldberg shit, dude. It's so bad.
So that is your Raw report for August 2nd, 2021.
Well, I thank you, my good man, for wading through that fucking cesspool.
God.
Human waste because
I'd rather swim in a
cesspool. I got lucky. At least I enjoyed Dynamite, but
anyway.
Oh, Bobby Joe. Woo.
Oh, you know how it is.
Oh, boy, do we ever. Well, I think we should spice things up a bit now. Unless, Miss Nighthawk, do you have something?
Do you want to spice things up, Miss Nighthawk?
There we go. Wait.
You have more things in there.
I have more things in there.
You made us wait to go live because you were making something.
Oh yeah, no, but that okay, no.
Is that for later?
Yeah.
Okay.
Arts and crafts time.
I just didn't want you to forget.
I did put this in here too, though, so you can have that.
All right, for all our audio listeners out there, we have some wise words from one Vincent Kennedy McMahon, as he is quoted as saying, "I have balls the size of grapefruits, and come this Sunday, you'll be spitting out the seeds."
Things people can't say in WWE anymore because of, well, the times.
That paints a horrible, horrible mental image as well. Jeez, Vince, could have done without that one. I'm so glad I'm going to have nightmares tonight. But, oh, boy, did it work out well with old Senior Cartman.
And for all you listeners out there, we have a picture of Cartman up, as we did last week, saying, "How would you like to suck my balls, Mr. McMahon?"
I'm sure.
And spit my seeds out.
Maybe he didn't hear me. Oh, Mr. Garrison.
Excuse me. Before we run into
those cigars.
You know me smoking all the time.
Stogies.
Before we run into our news, let's going to give another shout out to the Revolution Wrestling Federation and their show coming up on August 29th. Here's a quick promo. We'll see you momentarily.
Head Stricker Samu, Gangrel, and WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi. Do I have your attention yet? Good! Revolution Wrestling Federation Treasure Trove Toys, along with Sugar Daddy Productions, presents Resurgence, a showcase of the absolute best talents at Harrisburg Midtown Arts Center, featuring appearances from Gangrel, the Head Shrinkers, live August 29th at 6 p.m., featuring the double main event as RWF champion, the Japanese sensation Mr. Ping, defends his RWF championship against Michael Zamado, as well as the Lights Out Battle of the Kings, as the King of Hardcore, Rob Notches, goes one-on-one with the King of Salvation, Mal Havoc, in a special New Jack City street fight. Also on the bill will be Marvelous Malcolm King, as he'll defend his RWF Internet Championship, the world's most dangerous arachnid, the Red Scorpion, 7-foot-tall, 400-pound, bulletproof Dorian Black, Andy Header, and many, many more. Sunday, August 29th, Resurgence, 6 p.m., Harrisburg Midtown Arts Center in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. The revolution is now!
Yeah.
You can find all that show information and tickets over at revolutionwrestlingfederation.com. And when you go over to get your tickets, use the promo code Off the Rope 10 off. Get 10% off your tickets. And you never know, you might see us there too.
I just want to give big kudos to their promo announcer there. I mean, he's straight up like, "You'll pay for the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge."
Yeah, that dude did the promo awesome. Really like.
Oh, he's feeling
it,
man.
Love it, dude.
That's right. He's into it.
I bet you would be good at that.
Oh, Jack, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I've been to the Worcester Center. So.
Jack actually did a few promos for me way back when we were throwing shows. He did a voiceover for a commercial for me.
I did, didn't I?
You did. I still have it somewhere too.
Well, I'm sure it's spectacular. Hey, you know what? That's actually the last time I was in front of a real microphone, if you will. So, look at that. That was like, what, 10 more years ago?
That was a lot of years ago.
A whole lot of years.
That was back when Hell Entertainment was just a baby.
That was back when I was a baby.
Yeah. That was back when you was in a diaper.
All right, well, if it was 10 years ago, I was definitely not in a diaper. But
you never know. It could have been a crazy night.
Not. That'd be a little weird. It's like that Seinfeld where they're watching George's home movies from when he was a kid, and they're like, "Oh, he's like, don't look. This is the part where my parents changed me." And Jerry's like, "You're like 7." He was like 6.5. So yeah, no, we don't have to worry about that.
or the part in Grown Ups where the kids are getting breastfed. How old's your kid? 48 months.
Yeah, we won't bring up the diaper match again. I think we already did that in like worst gimmicks ever, didn't we? So yeah, we're good.
Oh, shall we jump into some news?
Oh boy, should we ever?
News. What's that?
I didn't even realize that we didn't do that yet.
No, we pushed that on the back burner because that's
because we got some hot takes to put on that burner, do we not? Oh yeah,
boil them up. Let's crack them beers. Let's get going. Speaking of beers,
a lot of bombshells.
Stone Cold Steve Austin's Broken Skull IPA. We are not sponsored by them, but I like his IPA. So Miss Nighthawk is drinking Snoop Diggity Dog wine. You can catch Snoop Dogg and Kevin Hart doing their commentary on the Olympics on Peacock. Fuck Peacock. But I highly recommend go watch Snoop Dogg and Kevin Hart because it's like watching a train wreck. You just can't turn your eyes away.
Dude, I love both of them. Are you kidding?
Oh, it's great, but it's like they're so bad at the commentating, you just can't not look away.
Fair.
Well, I mean, Snoop is fucking far beyond Stone, so I
No.
but that's probably really good commentating right there.
How much weed do you think Snoop's got to smoke to actually get stoned?
Well, considering he probably gets the most prime.
Yeah, but he's been smoking weed since before we were in diapers.
He was probably in diapers when he started. Are you kidding?
He probably came out of the womb with a joint in his mouth.
It ain't nothing but a G thing, they say.
Ain't nothing but a joint thing, baby.
I'm apparently rocking the Vermont Federal Credit Union beer tonight. So look at that.
Go to Vermont Federal Credit Union. They give you free beer and open up an account.
For all your credit needs.
For all your banking needs, get drunk.
I haven't been to Vermont
That
since I was
sounds
a
like
kid,
terrible
but-
advice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible advice. That's why we're here.
That's
We're here to
all
give
we're
the
chock
horrible
full of.
advice.
Oh, we should actually, that's a great idea for a show. We should do an advice show. Like, you remember how they used to do that Love Line show with Dr. Drew and
On
Adam
MTV,
Carolla?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. We could change some lives. Not necessarily for the better, but.
No, it's more like a don't listen to us. Because we fucked up our lives.
Deep.
Did you just summon a demon? That was pretty
I think he did.
I did. Oh, news. A lot of news to get through. I'm going to kick it off here. I'm not going to start with the obvious one that everyone's talking about right now, but Ric Flair was released from the WWE.
Oh.
Per his request, it said, but there's some other allegations, if you want, but rumors going around that he texted Triple H and he was not happy with the way that they were pushing Charlotte Flair in her booking. And the next day he was released. So take it as you will. Was Daddy getting involved in Charlotte's business? Was Charlotte being a true diva? Asking Daddy to step in and talk to the game? One will never know the truth because, it's there and we're not.
That sounds a little bit to me like how it may have been years ago when John Cena had to go to his dad and be like, all right, you know what, Dad? Back it up. Back it up, dude. Because
you can't see me, Dad.
is Ric Flair like that desperate for the spotlight and the attention or whatever? He's got to make a big deal about his daughter. I mean, I don't blame a guy for, sticking up for his daughter. Don't get me wrong. But
she's like 40 years old, too.
Yeah, but I mean, from what I can gather, they're giving her pretty good TV time. So where's the?
Oh yeah,
issue? I don't know.
She's on Raw every week with her own promo spots. She's fighting for the Raw Women's title again and again and again.
AEW actually secretly lured Flair away for one more match. That's why he left WWE.
I bet you in 90 days Flair signs with AEW just as something just to stick it to Vince a little bit.
Well, you know what? Honestly, I don't even think it would be that so much as it would be if for anyone who saw the ESPN 30 for 30 on Flair, you'll know that Rick ain't so good about saving the coinage. So
no, he spends it like he's.
And that's why he's doing those car whatever ads.
Well, that's why he's limousine riding, jet flying, woman stealing, Rolex wearing.
Yeah, it's more like can cashing, cart pushing.
Thank you for changing.
Sorry, but yeah. Flair, I don't know. Who knows? I mean, if that's one of those things, bottom line, we'll never know. I mean, there's three sides to every story, as my lovely lady loves to tell me all the time and remind me, because she's right. But it's like, dude, we will probably never know what really happened. Who knows? It's not like this is the first time that Flair has been like, fuck you to WWE, or WWE's been like, fuck you to Flair. So,
all right, I'll let you take on another bullet point of news. I know there's a lot to go through, so.
Oh boy, it's not. Well, it's just really more, if anything, it's just very flabbergasting. Flabbergasting? Yeah, that's how you say it, right?
Sure.
Yeah, look at Jack with the old wind up in the pitch there.
Shooty scores.
Game on.
You hit that guy. You shouldn't have been standing there.
Dude, you're going to kill me with this. I love you. All right. Now I can think of a Wayne's World. Awesome, thanks.
Well, that was a Happy Gilmore reference.
I know, but then I went to Wayne's World because of what I said, and I was trying to keep happy out of my mind because that's going to be even worse. And it's
Hey, my girlfriend's in there. There's a lot of guys' girlfriends in there. I use that
I
at the bar all the
I feel
time.
great. I don't know what it is, man. I hate my father. I hate my life, but I feel great. He's getting a lot better. Yeah, a lot better. All right, I had to get that.
Kiss you all over and over and again.
Hey, you know what, breakfast? Oh, God. We're doing it again. We're doing it.
You know that, Mr. Lady? I think I just still there.
You know what, breakfast? Oh, good times. Good old Shooter McGavin. Choke on that baby.
Oh, your back hurts? You just pulled yard duty.
Oh, dude, Ben Stiller.
We could go on and on about fucking Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, we better. Bring the whole train back on track.
News. Wrestling
right,
news.
So, yeah, for reals, though. For reals, dudes.
For the Rosalies.
Don't snoop me. I know you're not high. Yeah, so dude, straight up, anyone out there who's a wrestling fan already knows that there was some big action going on in the world of All Elite Wrestling last week as they signed not only Daniel Bryan and CM Punk all in a matter of 3 days combined, I think it was. Bryan was first, CM Punk was second. Still not sure exactly what CM Punk's whole role is going to be in AEW. I'm guessing they're going to get him to do at least a match or two.
He's already been called out.
Oh, yeah. Darby Allin. I forgot to mention that during the deposition. Darby Allin did say, made a little remark towards the best in the world. So I would love to see something like that. But anywho, Daniel Bryan, this one was really more of a surprise to me because I thought that he must be hurt or this is some sort of WWE storyline. Keep in mind, he was just in the main event at WrestleMania.
Right.
Well, I guess that doesn't mean shit anymore because WWE really did cut him. And AEW, no big surprise, was smart enough to pick him up. And Daniel Bryan, from what I understand as well, big reason why he signed with AEW was because they will give him the freedom to go wrestle in New Japan Pro Wrestling, which was a big thing for him. So I love that. And considering AEW and New Japan already have the crossover shit, it's perfect. And yes, CM Punk.
He's back.
I guess I saw a little something last night that I guess rumors are, rumors is rumors. Fleetwood Mac said it all, whatever. But I guess word through the grapevine is WWE's basically saying, yeah, good luck, AEW. Now CM Punk is your problem. So that's what I heard.
If WWE keeps releasing all this talent and AEW picking it up, WWE is going to be in some hot shit because they're not going to have the talent to carry them.
All right. I'll let you reveal what is most recent in the news because there was also a third person who signed with AEW this past week.
I don't like him in WWE, but maybe I like him in AEW. Brock Lesnar.
That's huge, dude.
That's a huge signing there. I mean, those three guys alone right there are huge signings.
Absolutely. I mean, you're talking 3 former WWE champions, 3 of the biggest draws in the last 15, 20 years even of pro wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, who came up together in Ring of Honor and the Indies and showed, they were so influential in breaking, the walls, the barriers, so to speak, for a lot of these guys in the Indies to finally get a chance. The guys who deserved it, guys like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and guys like that. And then, Brock Lesnar, holy shnikes, dude. That one. Oh, I thought Brock would be retired or he'd go back to WWE. I really didn't see this coming.
Yeah, Brock is now with AEW, and I think Vince is trying to scoop Braun back up because I heard rumors that Braun is re-signing with WWE. If Braun Strowman was to sign with AEW, that would just be it. That'd be over for WWE. Because
It's funny you say that because the biggest news recently is kind of tied into Mr. Braun Strowman, is it not?
What was that? I'm sorry.
The biggest, most latest news after these AEW signings of Bryan, CM Punk, and Lesnar. There's another big article that happened just a couple days ago that
Yep.
Braun Strowman was one of the first to react to.
Yep.
If you saw.
And that was a release from the WWE that no one saw coming. Even Alexa Bliss commented on it. There's a lot of comments on this one with The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, being released from the WWE. Huge fucking mistake by WWE. I see that in 90 days, right off the rip, Bray going to AEW. 100%.
Well, and this is why I brought up your point earlier about bringing up Braun related to, yes, they let go of Bray friggin' Wyatt. I cannot believe that. I'm still in disbelief of that one. But Braun Strowman was one of the first people to react on Twitter. Uh-huh. And it was basically like, hey, Bray, we ought to get together again. And if, even if WWE does want Braun Strowman back, he's looking at me like I don't think Braun wants to go back. From what that post to me, to Bray Wyatt just made it seem like, let's do it again. And if they don't want you, well, they ain't going to have me because we're going to AEW. That's my speculation.
So you have all these signs of AEW. You have your speculations with Braun and Bray. Are they going together? Are they going solo? Who do you think is going to be able to hold and run the WWE to keep the competitiveness? Reigns can't do it all. Cena's old. Goldberg's just... I can't... Lashley can't. There's no real superstar there besides Reigns, really. Reigns and Cena. But Cena can't carry the company on his back like he did. He can't carry it like Triple H
anymore.
Right.
He's beyond that. He's not going back on the road, and he's not going to be on SmackDown or Raw every week and shit like a regular part of the roster. No way. I just don't. All combined, all of this, the fact that Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, and Lesnar are now officially signed with AEW, the fact that Braun Strowman's out, and the fact that they just released Bray Wyatt on what was it, Saturday? Mm-hmm. I don't know because I'm not there. I don't work for them, but something seems to me like something's really going bad over there down in Stanford.
Yeah, something's not right. I mean, you look
financially, they're saying, when no one can understand why they let go of Bray Wyatt again, all because of budget cuts. All right, so you took a guy that was one of the most popular guys you had during COVID, especially in The Fiend, and we couldn't. Something's amiss. I don't buy the whole just budget cut shit. You were letting some huge names go to AEW. There's no doubt about it. They're all going to go to AEW. Why would Vince want to help make AEW better? I don't get it.
Unless he's got some skin in the game over there. I mean, no one knows behind the scenes and all that. But look at just the stage setups between Raw and SmackDown, how they've dwindled down to almost to what they started with. I mean, you look at how the Raw setup used to be, all the LEDs, all the pyrotechnics, the huge stage setups, and now it's just a couple of screens and no ramp. It's just a flat walk on the wall. So you look at the other things within SmackDown and Raw, and you wonder, is it really a financial issue? Is Vince really starting to be like, hey, I'm losing money? I mean, let's call it as it is. He failed on the XFL twice.
Watch Dwayne Johnson will make it like somehow hugely successful because now that he bought it. But to your point, dude, I don't.
There's little things that you see that you might not pay attention to, but it's those little things that are adding up to maybe WWE is really starting to hurt now.
Exactly. If you recall, in our last show, I mentioned in our little weekly World Wrestling News segment that they had to cancel a show in, of course, now I'm forgetting. I want to say it was Texas.
Or it went to Texas.
somewhere. I don't know.
It was in the Midwest.
They're going to like North Carolina instead, or Nashville. They're going to Nashville. There was a show that got canceled because they had only sold like 1,200 maybe tickets to SmackDown Live for the TV show in about a month or whatever. They said the tickets were so bad that they pulled the plug and moved the show. So that just adds to the speculation of, I think they're hurting. Mm-hmm. I think they've now realized that AEW, I mean, I can't say for certain. Don't call me a friggin' genius when it comes to this by any means, but maybe they're...
But you got to read between the lines. You got to look at the smaller things of what's going on and the talent that they're being released and what AEW is picking up. There's something going on there that will be, like I said, in 5 years, I think you're not going to see the WWE either anymore or as dominant as they are. I think AEW is going to surpass that.
That's a bold statement. I don't know. I mean,
I'm a bold kind of guy. But, I'm also fluffy.
Here's my other thing. Oh, well, we know you're far beyond bold. But I think nowadays wrestling fans are just sick and tired of the kiddie bullshit. They want to see athletes again. They want to see them compete. This is why New Japan Pro Wrestling, for example, has really gained a lot of momentum here in the States in recent years. And I think that's another reason why AEW wanted to attach their wagon to their trailer, because it's like, yeah, dude, people are over here. They're doing that. I mean, you look at stuff like Ring of Honor, even though they don't have the talent that they had in years past, they're still, it's a quality wrestling product. And I think that's what's killing WWE. Honestly, people are just sick and tired of the cartoon crap. We don't want these horrible storylines. And I mean, like I said, for example, SmackDown had like 2 wrestling matches on it, maybe 3. Like, that's ridiculous for a 2-hour
It's all the promotion, it's all the commercials. They're trying to build it up. I mean, yeah, you had segments and things like that with the Attitude Era, and that kept people's attentions because it was raw, it was edgy, you didn't know what was going to happen. Now you can just predict it's going to be the same people fighting the same people every week.
Yeah, and I mean,
I think that's where the big problem lies.
Yeah, and they don't need to do, what AEW is doing. I'm not saying they got to bring back the hardcore violence and stuff, like hardcore matches and this and that, but just stop insulting us wrestling fans with these ridiculous storylines. Like, I mean, we bring it up all the time because it's that bad. The whole Miz and Morrison getting turned into freaking zombies or whatever. Like, this is insulting to us wrestling fans, and especially now in this day and age, in the technological internet age, kids are a lot more wise and hip to the scene than we were back in that age,
Right. Oh, take it for what you will, people. We do not work for them. We are just here just spitting our two cents in conspiracy theories of what's going on in the wrestling world.
I think something's rotten in Stamford.
Well, it is Connecticut, so. What else you got for news? Anything, or was that pretty much take the cake?
I mean, that was it. I mean, what else is there to talk about? We had 3 huge, gigantic, gargantuan signings with AEW of former WWE champions, and then a couple days later, WWE's like, bye-bye, Bray Wyatt, who's been enormously successful for us
for the past 12 years.
Yeah. I really, I pray to the almighty Satan himself that fucking AEW, give Bray whatever he wants. I love Bray Wyatt. Now, if we could just get like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn out of WWE, maybe Apollo Crews, a few others, I'd be happy. I would never have to. We could skip the Raw and SmackDown fucking shit altogether. We would never have to talk about it.
It's going to get to that point soon enough. If they keep going the way they're going, it's going to be a straight AEW news and whatever the fuck we want to do show. Speaking of what we want to do, I think it's time to get into our fantasy pay-per-view.
Oh boy!
I think we should let Miss Nighthawk kick it off, since you and I have been talking for the past hour and 23 minutes, and she's been sitting there looking like she's falling asleep.
Yeah, my jaw hurts.
I'm so tired.
Let's let Miss Nighthawk kick it off, and we'll do ours.
Okay, but what if you went first and then I went?
All right, no, we can do that.
You take it however you want to go, my dear. You just do.
All right.
You.
I'll kick it off. And then Nighthawk can go, and then we'll finish it off with Mr. Torrance.
Don't say we weren't polite. We tried to say ladies first.
No, you're right.
Age before beauty. That's why I'm going to go first.
Well, then I gotta definitely go first.
Go
then.
before me?
No. I was gonna say age before ugly. I gotta go. Yeah, you know it.
All right, so this segment is our fantasy pay-per-view. 8 matches, up to 8 matches, what you wanted to do. I did some title matches. I kept the 3 original matches, 3 original belts, I should say, the tag titles, the IC belt, and the World Heavyweight belt. I didn't do any of that other nonsense crap.
Oh, you put official belts on them. Right.
I did. I kind of went.
Cool.
I did.
So kicking off Diggs Mania, the curtain jerker match, if you will. We have The Undertaker versus Triple H versus Cactus Jack in a Buried Alive match for your curtain jerker match.
I'd buy that for $1, buddy.
All right. Following, we would have the ladies' match of Francine, the queen, the head cheerleader, versus Sasha Banks.
Interesting.
Throw a little mix in there.
I hate to say it because I love Francine, but she wasn't much of a wrestler.
No, I think Sasha would take that, but I like Francine because she's feisty.
Oh, yeah. She was the master, her and Beulah. Cat fight. Oh, thank you, Joey Styles.
Joel Gertner.
The quintessential stud muffin.
So following that, for the tag team titles, we have the Hart Foundation of Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart versus the Sandman and Tommy Dreamer.
Ooh, I like that one. That's right up me alley there, laddie.
Who would you take in that match?
That's an interesting matchup because you're talking about 2 extremely different styles.
Yep.
The Hart Foundation, one of the most technically sound tag teams in the history of all professional wrestling. And then Sandman and Dreamer, who, in all likelihood, gonna spit beer in your face and hit you with a cane. Dreamer's
this is
gonna
facts.
DDT you. So I don't know, man. I love all 4 of them too much to really pick one here.
Fair enough.
That is one I'd pay that admission to attend.
Following for the IC belt would be Sabu versus Chris Jericho.
Oh, kudos, my good man. Golf clap indeed.
Then we have an 8-man tag team match. We have Demolition and the Legion of Doom versus the Dudley Boys, Spike Dudley, and New Jack.
Yeah, once again, I'm definitely buying your pay-per-view, dude. Hell yeah.
Then we have another tag team match. Again, this is all just like there's so many different variables you could do with this. I went with Sting and Flair versus the Mega Powers.
All right, once again, I'm still mowing my dad's lawn so I can buy this and put it on his cable bill. You've got me so far.
Then in the precursor to my main event, we have Taz the Human Suplex Machine versus Brock Lesnar.
The Suplex Machine versus Suplex City. All right.
The Battle of the Suplexes.
And mind you, just in case, you didn't mention it, we should let the world know that, these are like, we're talking about guys that when they're at their
prime.
Women, they're at their prime. Yeah.
They're at their prime.
Taz now versus Lesnar is not going to work out well for Taz.
Which brings me to my main event. I'm going to throw him in here. It's for the WWE belt or the championship belt, whatever belt you want to call it. We have the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, versus Mr. Monday Night, Rob Van Dam, inside a steel cage, inside a Hell in a Cell.
All right, just promise there's no dogs pooping and humping like Big Boss Man and Al Snow, right?
No.
Okay, all right.
But we have a cage inside a Hell in a Cell. Rob Van Dam and HBK, both in their prime.
Interesting, because I came very close. That was actually one of my first thoughts. I came very close to Heaven and Michaels versus RVD one-on-one in their prime match.
I think that would be one hell of a fucking match, and that is my pay-per-view $59.95. Buy it now. Mow your dad's lawn.
I'm gonna have to
Let's
mow
go.
like my dad's lawn 3 times now. You're
Well,
pricey.
I am pricey.
I'm going with
I got big talent on that card.
I'm going with 1996 prices because I'm a man.
1995.
Well,
Order now.
no, it was all black box back then. Pay for shit.
So that is my pay-per-view. If I could have any pay-per-view, again, guys in their prime, fantasy matches of what we'd like to see. So many wrestlers, so little time.
Yeah, this was, like you said from the get-go, this was very hard because I could easily put together a
years of pay-per-view.
Yeah, like thousands of friggin' dream matches if I really just, yeah.
And now, taking it for a different spin on things, Miss Nighthawk.
Yeah, mine's so different. I don't have any of that fancy shit that you have.
Hey,
fuck that shit.
You sound like that superhuman kid. Fuck this shit. And then he flips on cheese graters.
Mine's all very simple,
All right.
All right, so to start, I have Rhea Ripley versus Megan Fox because I think that would be hilarious.
So you're going celebrity deathmatch style.
Yeah.
I like it.
Megan Fox.
Literally for every
minute to her.
No, this is entirely.
I like it.
Michael Bay would have personally approved of that match. From what I understand, he refused to ever work with Megan Fox ever again after Transformers, whatever, 5000. So
let's get it on.
Of course, Michael Bay's insane too, so I'm sure that was quite the pairing. At least he gave us The Rock.
Sean Connery.
But of course, you are standing good speed.
Sorry.
No, please continue. I just love.
Don't mind us.
I love that movie. Sorry.
All right. Well, next I have Seth Rollins versus Robert Pattinson.
All right.
Yes. I'm down, dude. I want to see that twinkly little vampire get stomped really hard. I'm not gonna lie. Vampires shouldn't twinkle. I'm sorry. I don't get it. You're not supposed to go to the sun.
You know.
But he is gonna play Batman, so we'll see what he got.
He's actually a really good actor, though.
No, he is. I couldn't stand the Twilight movies. That one
fair.
where what was the movie they go to in one of them? It was called Face Punch or Fist Punch or something.
Oh, I don't even know.
She's at the movies with the werewolf dude, and he's all like, "Oh God, I don't even know if I like girls." And he runs away, and then she's like, "Oh, I feel so bad for him." And I think the movie, I never actually saw it. Somebody I work with told me it was yeah. The worst part was the movie was called Face Punch or something. That's pretty funny. But I'm sorry. I digress.
Thank God.
You got me in a whole Twilight thing now.
No, that was all you. I don't.
You sparked the flame.
Next, I have Stone Cold versus Ashton Kutcher.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Wow.
I'm mowing my dad's lawn all year now. Hell yeah. That's big time main event action.
I'm going to my mom's purse getting her credit card.
It'd be even better if Ashton Kutcher had to play Kelso the whole time from that 70s.
Ooh, yeah.
And Red Foreman was the ref.
That'd be amazing.
Top notch, Nighthawk. Top notch indeed.
And I got Becky Lynch versus Miley Cyrus.
Yeah. The man.
Yeah.
The man versus the twerk.
Came into it like a wrecking ball.
Oh, dude, just imagine
Oh
her
no,
dad,
I put him
Billy
down
Ray.
twice.
Well,
It's
that just shows how much you want to see this match for real. I don't know. I can't blame your enthusiasm.
Oh no, I used one of the people twice.
That's okay.
Different thing. Same person.
I was just gonna say real quick before you move on for that match, I want to see her dad come down. Billy Ray Cyrus. He's kind of like honky tonk man,
With the mullet, though.
right? Oh, of course.
He's
How
got
do
the
you
mullet.
Absolutely, yeah.
Cyrus without the mullet. Why does he even exist if he doesn't have a mullet?
Hey, breaky heart.
It's 1993 all over again. Oh.
At least my dad's alive.
Oh, same.
At least I still had a potential for a future back then.
And a full head of hair.
Oh, no, that's crossing lines.
I wasn't alive yet.
Anyway.
You're lucky. Trust
Yeah.
me. You didn't miss much.
No,
in
I wasn't
1993.
complaining.
A couple of good albums, maybe a few good movies.
And a few good men. You can't handle the truth.
Don't jack me.
Next, I got The Undertaker versus Nicolas Cage.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude.
I like your spin on this.
I dig the celebrity deathmatch stuff. Yeah, this is great.
It'd be interesting.
Right? Undertaker does his usual entrance, and then there's Nick Cage like, I just want to fight some rockets. You know, I think that would be amazing. Hell yeah. And they would have to fight on Alcatraz in honor of The Rock. Not Dwayne Johnson, but in honor of
Sean Connery.
But of course you are. Stand a good speech. I'm only borrowing your Humvee. All right, you've never seen The Rock, have you, Nighthawk?
I have not, no.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
I feel pain in my chest.
Look, I have, as
No,
we
it's
know,
not you.
I
It's
have a
just
list
carotid
of
artery.
movies.
I know. We talked about some lists. I'm working on mine. I'm trying.
Dude, I have, it's in this little thing.
I want to
have
see
right
that
here.
tire movie we talked about on Real Horror Show.
You have to.
Yeah, definitely. But before I get to ADHD.
Next, okay, so I've Stone Cold again, but this time versus Adam Sandler.
I don't think anyone will argue that. No. You got Stone Cold booked twice. Fans are gonna love it. This is Stone Cold in his prime.
That's a lot of beer.
He just went out and stomped a mud hole, and now he's coming back against the Sandman, the other Sandman. Yeah, no, fans are gonna love it. Mm-hmm.
I thought so.
Damn it! Is that Cold regulation size or what?
You know, this is when Stone Cold's like, there's some bitch that made me look like a jackass in Grown Ups 2, and I'm calling him out right now. That'd be Adam the Sandman Sailor or Sailor. Yeah. So it would be the rematch from Grown Ups 2. I'll take it.
The price is wrong, bitch.
I don't think Happy's gonna fare so well against Stone Cold though.
I don't know. Happy's got kind of a temper.
He's got some
true.
edge too. I mean, he's got
his hockey stick putter.
Yeah, but he totally lost to Bob Barker. There's no doubt.
Yeah, but he also got the alligator's head.
He did get. You got that? You got me there. Not a bad
My
record.
God, son, what are you doing? Only 365 more days of hockey. Gotta toughen up.
At least he beat Shooter, and then Mr. Larson made him.
Oh God, Shooter.
I believe that's Mr. Gilmore's.
Green jacket, gold jacket. Who gives a shit? Sorry, tangent.
Here we go again.
Hey, pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
We're gonna have to do like a whole nother show on movies now.
Dude, me and you alone can go hours just quoting movies.
I could do like a 24-hour live stream if I had enough speed. Just talk about movies.
That's how.
We're like, hey, folks, it's hour 100 of movies with Jack Torrance. Woo!
That's how Jen actually was introduced to you by you and I having a full conversation just in movie quotes.
Hi, Jen.
Okay,
and
go ahead.
she even allowed me to be in your wedding. Look at that.
She was drunk.
No.
Obviously.
So next, I have Triple H versus Seth Rogen.
Ooh.
I want Seth Rogen to win that.
You think Seth could take the game?
When the ref's not looking, he'll hit him with his bong and be like, and then, you know. I want Seth in that one.
Yeah, I agree.
We've seen Triple H win enough over the years.
Would Joe Rogan be his manager?
Sure. And they'll get some Rogaine on top of it.
Next, I have Roman Reigns versus Ben Affleck because fuck Ben Affleck.
Yes.
All right. And I know you well enough by now to know you were definitely putting the big dog on your list.
Well, yeah, of course.
Oh, see? Look at that. I pay attention.
And then I got Sasha Banks versus Angelina Jolie.
Ooh,
That could be a good one.
wow.
Right?
That could really be
Toss
a.
up. That is a toss-up. Laura Croft versus the Boss. Oops. Yeah.
Or if you're going Laura, or if you're going Angelina Jolie from Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Just not the Gia Angelina Jolie. She's not going to work for you. You don't want her all doped up on heroin.
or the gun in 60 seconds. Angelina Jolie.
Yeah. But then again, she could do a tag team with Nicolas Cage. I don't know why Nicolas Cage sounds more like Christopher Walken when I say that.
All right, and my final one.
Is this what I'm looking at here? What you made?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Do it up.
Hold on, I gotta strap in seatbelt. Oh, well, Miss Nighthawk.
That's a great picture of Enzo.
Oh boy, does that look great or what? Hell yeah, dude. I'll put someone else's title on the line too. Look at me holding someone else's belt.
That's a Cage Titans belt.
Wait a minute. Now I've never really looked at this freak that close. What is that a tattoo of like Lee Harvey Oswald on his shoulder? Who is that?
Probably his kid.
I think it's Lee Harvey. I'm going with Lee Harvey. Because he would probably like somebody like Lee Harvey.
He's got the Wu-Tang on there.
He looks like a communist. Oh no, poor Wu-Tang. Oh, dude, that's the shittiest Wu-Tang tattoo I've ever seen.
Well, it's on Enzo's. Of course,
The
it's
RZA and the Jizza and Method Man, ODB would come back from the grave now and be like, take that, Enzo. Terrible, terrible garbage. Oh. What did he do? Like steal Edge and Christian's old logo on his other arm, on his left shoulder? Look at that. What is that?
Stupid tribal thing or
That's
whatever.
back when they were still vampires.
Get Gangrel, the Brood.
Right? Gangrel, gonna be there in Pennsylvania. Is he not? Well, Miss Nighthawk, you once again have just totally
That was great.
Day. That was awesome, dude.
I would buy that pay-per-view. Absolutely.
I was almost speechless for a second, almost. You know what? Well, I would say,
You gotta throw your notes away now because yours can't compare to that.
I'm Cindy Brady. I with. No, you know what it is, dude. Nighthawk and I had the same main event. I now have to put something else down because that was my main event. It was gonna be
versus Enzo.
me versus Enzo. That was my wild card for the pay-per-view. But okay, since you put Stone Cold down twice, now I can put somebody else down twice because I'm gonna take myself off this card since I am already booked on Nighthawk's card. I guess I can't be on my own. So.
I mean, you could.
Okay, well, now everybody knows. All right, so I'm double booked. It's me and Enzo on Nighthawk's pay-per-view and on mine. The Great American Rash is what I'm calling mine.
But you could go as Dr. Love on yours.
Ooh, that's
you
true.
One
of my many personas.
Exactly.
You thought Foley had a lot. Okay.
Bring it back to KKL days.
I have a tough time writing because my penmanship is like a kindergartner.
Maybe you should have paid attention in high school.
Maybe I shouldn't have had this much glue sniffing in my life either.
But here we are.
Okay. So there you go.
Glue?
All right. So I don't know, man. You guys really killed this so far. So kudos. And let's see. It's 10 minutes of 10. So let's see if we can actually wrap this up in 2 hours.
Well, actually, we started late, so we're only an hour and 45 into it.
Ooh, look at us. Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants. All right. So here we are. It is not dream. The pay-per-view of all the pay-per-views. I'm calling it the Great American Rash because I just think that sounds fun.
It sounds
something you get at Main Street.
I don't know. That's the first thing I came to. You got me all tripped out, dude, because you were like, oh, well, this match is going to be for the Intercontinental title. This is the tag titles. I was just like, all right, who's dead and who's alive that I want to see throw down?
Do what you do. Do what you got to do.
All right, so we'll say all my belts are for ECW then, because special place in the old Grinch heart. All right, so, wow. I'm sorry. Nighthawk, you really pulled it out from under me.
You left him speechless.
Right? This was my main event. I don't think my new main event.
Been trying to do that since high school.
Maybe it'll be as good. We'll see. We'll call it a double main event. All right.
Ooh.
So I guess now part of the first part of
against somebody.
Hey, you
Or
beat me
me.
to the punch. I can't blame you. You know,
Me versus
this was
you.
just
Yeah, me
Ooh.
against Diggs. Let's go.
It's happened before. There's a lot of knee kicking.
Really? Was this match unsanctioned?
It's a lot of like the dude on your shirt there. I don't know his name.
Oh,
That
you
dude on
mean
your
Orange
shirt.
Cassidy, Mr.
Yeah, we just do like a lot of like little leg kicking. Like him and Sting did.
Him and Sting. That counts as a match. I'm still gonna
Look,
put
we
my
we're
both
both
have
broken.
bad knees.
I'm
I mean,
willing
all
to
three of
bet,
us
yeah.
have bad knees.
But I'll bet Nighthawk has some like killer, like Gene Simmons kiss boots that she's gonna destroy.
Oh, she got like spiky boots and I
Yeah,
don't
my
mind.
money's on Nighthawk. Yeah. Okay.
Of course, I would never hit a lady.
Yeah, but what
I
if
kick
it's
one,
like
though.
it's a
Kicking's
really
different.
big sack match. Kicking's cool.
All right, what's your curtain jerker?
Yeah. All right, I'm going right off the bat. I'm raising the dead, dude. Chris Jericho versus a man that he dreamed of one day being tag team champions with, Owen Hart.
Ooh.
I loved Owen. Not that I didn't love him before the unfortunate tragedy that befell him, but Owen was mad. So even if he was still here to this day, I would have made this match because can you imagine Owen versus Jericho at their prime? That would be like the epitome of anything great that's ever happened in Canada. Yeah, that's right. Fuck the Canadians. Montreal. Sorry, I'm a hockey fan, you know.
What did you say? You're part Canadian?
I said I'm French Canadian.
Not you. No, you're part of the cool Canadians. I love a lot of Canadians. Just not
Alright,
the ones in
cool.
Montreal that are Canadians fans. They shouldn't like themselves. All right, next up. Now, this is kind of in the ballpark of something you threw out there earlier, Mr. Podcast the Kid. I got a Fatal 4-Way TLC tag team match.
Ooh.
Okay, so hear me out, guy. I got my boys, Devon and Bubba Ray, the Dudleys, coming out with Joel Gertner and the gang, going up against the Sandman and Dreamer, going up against Sabu and RVD, and then ultimately going up against the Road Warriors in a 4-way TLC match. Three teams that comprise some of my all-time favorite guys from ECW against who, I mean, it's really hard not to say that perhaps for all time because I grew up with them. The Road Warriors, Legion of Doom, if you will, and WWE, they were the tops, dude. Badass.
Oh, absolutely.
They were like, dude, people can say what they want about wrestling, but you don't fuck with those guys, trust me. Love me some Warriors. And then I got a little, all right, so we'll say that was for the ECW tag team titles. I would put Chris Jericho versus Owen. All right, that's going to be just a awesome match. No titles involved. This next match, I guess, would have to be for the ECW Television Championship or the Intercontinental title or U.S. title, whatever. Bret the Hitman Hart versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus the Sexy Boy Shawn Michaels versus the Nature Boy, Ric Flair in a Fatal 4-Way elimination match.
You put two high flyers and there were two technical wrestlers.
Well, when you think of the impact that Bret versus Shawn had on the world of wrestling, and the impact that Ricky the Dragon versus Ric Flair had on the world of wrestling, the four of those guys together is going to be magical.
Yes, I see it.
Mm-hmm. He see. Next up, I got, this is definitely dream match action, no doubt about it. Kurt Angle versus Kenny Omega. This would be the Intercontinental title or the ECW television title, I think that would have to be.
All right.
Omega versus Angle, and they're both,
that's,
Yeah, that's going to be a show, dude.
It's true.
It's true. This next one was pretty easy for me. This was probably the only really easy one, aside from, the next three were actually easy for me. The rest were a little harder, but these ones I won. Undertaker versus Sting. That was a match all us wrestling fans wanted to see win. We wish it could have happened back in '98 when they were both Gonzo,
Not broken.
Right. Talk about two of the most dedicated men to ever involve themselves in the sport. They gave it their all. Sting, no doubt, was the biggest draw in WCW history, and The Undertaker, maybe he didn't make the money that Hogan and Austin did, but he's the fucking Undertaker. So yeah, try not to put him on your pay-per-view. Next up, I actually got this one. This was a dream match of Mick Foley's, which I really would have loved to see myself. Unfortunately, time did not give us that chance, as I got Bruiser Brody versus Cactus Jack.
Oh, good call.
Mick Foley has stated that is his biggest regret, that in the world of wrestling, he never got to take on Bruiser Brody. Would have been a hell of a show. Then I got Terry Funk versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is for the ECW or the WWF title. This is mine. I love the Funker. You got to put Stone Cold up because I love me some Stone Cold.
And you got two totally, kind of like I did, two totally different spectrums of wrestling. You got Terry Funk, who's the hardcore legend, versus Stone Cold, who's a knockdown, drag-out, grappler, fisticuffs kind of wrestler.
This has been a dream match of mine for a long time. I don't know if you recall the old days of Shotgun Saturday Night. This was right before Austin ended up beating Michaels for the belt at Mania 14. Funk and Austin got into it as the show ended. And I was sitting there like, oh, okay, they're going to do this on Raw, right? Like it's going to be Funk versus Austin. It never happened. To the best of my knowledge, Stone Cold never actually had a match against Terry Funk, even when he was just, Hollywood blonde Steve Austin. So that's one if the genie was here right now, Robin Williams, he'd come out with something zany, and I'd say, let me see Terry Funk versus Stone Cold, because that was huge for me. And now, since Nighthawk beat me to the punch, and she's just that damn good. Of course, my number 8 was going to be me versus Enzo, but now, okay, so you put Stone Cold up twice, I'm putting Undertaker up twice. And this one goes out to my boy Single H. I hope he hears this, because this is a match we dreamed of for years. We used to play this way back when on, PlayStation.
No Mercy.
Games. Yeah, well, even later than that, because you needed Hell in a Cell for this one, because this is a Hell in a Cell match.
Okay.
It's The Undertaker again versus Michael Cole.
Oh, Jesus.
Michael Cole is going to get it just like Foley did, and then more.
And then some.
And that's it. Yeah. Wouldn't it be a hoot?
That would be something else.
We wouldn't see vintage Michael Cole. We'd see dead Michael Cole.
Those are some great pay-per-views. That's a lot of money I'm going to be losing.
I got a lot of my dad's lawn to mow now.
Well, you got Nighthawk's card, who's got
right? I think she's the winner, to be honest with you. I love
so.
yours too, but
I think she has the most expensive card, because you have to pay all those celebrities top dollar to get their ass beat.
Mine was only $19.95, but I don't compare. She can actually charge more because it's gonna be worth it.
Yeah, I'd pay for it.
Remember when In Your House was $19.95?
In your house. It's in your house.
In your house tonight.
Oh, Nighthawk has no idea. But we did manage to keep the show under 2 hours this week.
There's that.
With all the news and recaps that we did. It was a good show.
Yeah, we covered quite a bit.
See if we got shut down by 8. What's that?
I said that's actually impressive.
I know. Switch things up a little bit at the beginning of the show, which is nice. Again, a big shout out to Revolution Wrestling Federation. Make sure you check them out. Revolution Wrestling Federation.com. Get your tickets to their show. Again, use Off the Ropes 10 off for 10% off your tickets. I think that's going to do it for us for this week.
Yeah, and I just want to say real quick, sorry, before we officially get we pull a job squad and get the old 1, 2, 3. If AEW doesn't delete the show this week, then we'll know they're definitely so much cooler than WWE, who's done it to us twice now.
Yeah,
so it's up to you, Cody.
I will find out tomorrow when I get a text that, hey, match 15 is not up. And I'm like, oh, damn, we got to take it down.
Kenny Omega, you guys are chill. We're going to keep promoting the fuck out of you. Just don't take us off.
And keep a lookout on hellentertainment.com or Hell Entertainment Facebook for show updates on The Real Horror Show, Sinner Sundays, and Off the Ropes Tuesdays. You'll find us here every Tuesday. Be on the lookout for a new website coming too. I'm not going to drop it yet, but I talked to Miss Nighthawk about it earlier.
Oh, okay.
You know what it is.
Yeah.
Oh. All of a sudden, I hear a little Buffalo Bill action in the background. Oh.
Mm-hmm. But on that note, I think we're going to call it our wraps for tonight. We will see you guys next Tuesday with a new show, possibly a live interview with Mal Havoc from Revolution Wrestling Federation.
That's pretty sweet, man.
Yeah. I am Diggs. That is Jack Torrance and the lovely Miss Nighthawk. We will see you guys next Tuesday. And for all of us here, thank you. Please go like, share, subscribe to the YouTube page, Hell Entertainment 666. We definitely would appreciate it. And yeah, and you too. And go check out Amy Young Photography.
She's over here. Yeah, there she is.
She's that way. You can find all her socials on amyyoungphotography.com. Go follow her, give her some likes, tell her I sent you because, well, I need her to not hate me. Anyway.
Yeah, and be sure to keep an eye out for me on the cover of Flatulence Illustrated coming out next week.
Oh, you got that photo shoot, huh?
I'm finally living the dream.
Well, if you need a photographer, I know one.
Oh, I don't know if your camera can handle that pic.
I didn't say it was going to be me, did I?
Oh, now I'm nervous.
Speaking of photo shoots, we're going to have our Christmas photos coming up soon.
Yeah.
We have to go to Savers and do a little shopping.
Ooh, and maybe some fun video.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, we got to film all that shit.
Yeah, we do.
We got some stuff coming up. So,
especially the part when I take my shirt off. Yeah.
This isn't OnlyFans. Come on.
Hey, you guys said you want to be seen in public with me, so remember, you made that choice.
On that note, everybody, have a good night. Thank you for listening. Check us out on all streaming sites. Go like, share, subscribe. We will see you guys next Tuesday.
Hasta la pasta. Meow, meow, meow.